Today's session is with Professor Ammar. We're very excited to have him on today. Today is a non-technical session, but it's very important. So بس ما معنا مايك، so العدد كبير، فبدنا نجرب بس يعني قد ما فينا نخفف الصوت كمان نقدر نسمع. So I'll leave the floor to Professor Ammar first.
Thanks. Okay, so can you all hear me well on that tone? We're good? Right. So basically today is going to be kind of untraditional session for you. It's going to be merely non-technical. We're going to talk about the forbidden topics, a bit of how to make money and so on, which we don't really talk about in university, but in reality we actually need them. So we're going to talk about capitalization of our knowledge. Now you are like first, second, third year, something like that. Okay, so we are all still building our technical expertise, and we want to see how we can capitalize on that. Capitalizing on an existing built knowledge is one thing, and building the knowledge with the idea of capitalization is something else. And let's think of something, and we are all enthused about AI and whatnot, but at the end of the day, we can go and dig deep and deep into the technicalities. If it doesn't pay back, it doesn't mean anything. So if it doesn't pay back to our lifestyle, to our well-being, it doesn't mean anything. And it's really nice for a researcher to be into AI and whatnot, but if he can't work somewhere that pays for that expertise, it doesn't mean anything. So this course is basically something I'm designing alongside with a couple of friends who are some well-known experts in the field of AI. They are consultants, full-time consultants, I'm not. But they do, it's kind of advanced, so it's okay. So don't feel overwhelmed. All of this assumes that you have some very well designed and understood idea of AI. Yani you know how to do all of the things, okay? So assuming that you all know how to do AI really well on an industrial level, have this presentation in mind. Is it clear? Does it make sense? Right. So a bit of myself. I'm Ammar. I have an engineering degree from USG. I went to Italy to Microsoft. I did my PhD there. Basically, USG I finished 2019. I finished Microsoft 2022. And then I co-founded and exited, and I sold my company in InsurTech from 2022 till 2024, and here I am now. Today, I'm actually at AUP, and we're going to only be talking about how am I an AI consultant and what do I know about this topic. So forget everything that is scientific, forget everything that is academic and research-based. We're going to talk mere consulting now, okay? And just to give a bit of context, what does consulting mean in the field of AI? And business consulting, strategy, and McKinsey and others have their meaning of consulting. شو يعني their meaning? Basically, إذا أنتم بتعرفوا you should have heard of that. يعني بيصيروا تحلوا هذه exams and you just prepare for their exam. They are basically looking for someone who's smart. Afterwards, after assuring that you are someone who's smart and unique, they teach you 4 or 5 years of consulting. You get into different domains of tech and of business and of all of these topics. عشان هيك بياخذوا ناس from different backgrounds. يعني it feels weird a bit, They take a business grad with a graduate, with an engineering grad, with a med grad. They work together. That's kind of weird, but it is how it is. In AI consulting, it's a bit different because it is a domain to be defined. We don't have a near definition of what's an AI consultant. What does he do? What is his day-to-day lifestyle? And I'm going to try to encapsulate those in a way today. A bit of an introduction, and this course is based on 3 days, but we're going to go through only one of the 3 days today. It's a long course in reality, and then we're going to talk about how to get leads, how to get people to know you, to purchase services from you, and then positioning marketing, fundamental question of free content, and so on. So basically what we're going to talk about today is something that you should keep in your mind. And it's not only that I'm okay with you stealing the sentences, I want you to build on top of these sentences. Whatever we say, whatever we use out of examples, out of anything, is something that you should use, okay? So feel free, share the PDF with them and so on. The first question that comes to mind here, is it technical value or value? and how do they differ? When you talk to the client or when someone who has a business is facing any problem, the main questions you should answer or he is looking for you to answer is the value. But is it actual technical value and we go through courses and we go through curriculums and we get bachelor's and like master's then? Well, is it something else? In reality, it's something else. It's a collection of things that he is trying to make. One of the reasons why someone would get a consultant to be in his company and he doesn't want to hire long term. Makes sense, because if he wants to hire long term, he needs to have a team that he's going to pay for, that he should have a moral connection with, and he's not going to hire him after 6 months after finishing the project. Another reason for having a consultant is if he has no idea what to do. And that's very common these days. They have no idea. They just have a business, it's profitable, they make money, but they want to get into AI. That's a very common sentence. So our goal here is to ask them, what's at stake? Why are you willing to go into AI? Why are you reaching out to me? Let them express themselves. Let them be explicit on, well, we want to get into AI. Like why? Because it's the trend. Okay, and there are nuclear is also a trend. Why don't you go into nuclear? Because just let them spit out what they have in their mind. Because those are the pain points that you're going to be answering. Right? Then you need to ask them, why now? Is it because it's a current trend? Is it because whatever other reason? Let them say them out loud. Now we know why they are coming to us. We know they just want to have a POC because their investors are asking them to get into AI. That's obvious, but we want them to say it. Because if this is the goal, then a POC level of an unfinished product is okay. But if their competitor is getting into AI and this is this is making problems within their business, that's something else. So therefore, what's at stake should be something else. I just want to familiarize my team with AI. Right? What's the ROI? The return on investment. So if you pay me $50,000 for 1 year of engagement, how much will you get back? How much are you willing to get back? What does it look for? Because this is going to define our connection with them, our pricing method. Actually, pricing method is something else we're going to talk. Basically, it's in day 2. But pricing is something that is totally unmanaged at the moment. If you want to get a front-end developer for a freelancing project, إذا بيقول لي $50 على الساعة, it's like out of question. There's no question in that. Whoever he was, however good he was, $50 an hour is more than enough. Okay? 2 or 10 years of experience, it's the same. In AI consulting, if we have these questions in place and he answers them the way he should, then $50 an hour, the hourly rate is out of the question anymore. عشان إذا قال لي my competitor is overtaking my business through AI and I want to implement something similar, then our answer is, I'm going to take $50,000 from you, and you should pay that because this is what's at stake, right? Your business. It's not an hourly rate anymore, and I know that all of this feels a bit overwhelming, and it feels a bit on the top of your head, but at the end of the day, when someone comes in and he's already invested lots of money into his business, generally well-established business, and has his whole life in it, and lots of money in it, and he wants to keep it. So if the business itself is at stake, feel free to ask how much, as much as you want, and don't be afraid. At the end of the day, the price that you ask for is basically lots of potential. If I ask for 50K, and I know that this is like a 10K project, then if anything happens with me, شو ما صار معي مشاكل on the technical implementation, if it has any technical implementation, then I can get someone for 10K to do the job. Right? So I'm not an expert in AI in every possible field, على every possible dimension. Make sense? So then you should ask him, what are you looking to celebrate in 1 year from today? This sets up a bit of limitation. In many scenarios, AI consulting goes like this. we just want to explore what's in AI for like a year of engagement. Yeah, بس إنه ساعتها إنه whatever I got into بعد سنة, it's not gonna satisfy you because you know that there's more, and you're gonna just ask for more and more things, right? So this puts an unbounded limitation for the effort I'm gonna put. So if you want in a year to have a fully fledged ERP system that has a chatbot in it that can automate all of the work, perfect. We have an idea of like what is the expectation in a year. But if you ask me, we just want to upskill. شو يعني upskill؟ إنه بدك كل الemployees يصيروا absolute experts ولا بدك إنه your employees to be familiar? Like that's a subjective term, right? So we need to manage this. Price yourself like an airline, and this is something we use a lot. عشان go into LinkedIn if it came up with it, and just type in AI consultants and try to reach out to a couple of consultants. أصلا ما في كتير. When you reach them, they're gonna be either airlines or non-respondent. And at the moment, regardless how much a project pays, I cannot take any more projects. So it's an airline. We have very limited seats. So consider yourself, مثل ما عملوا بالقيس الحرب يعني صار الأسعار شيء غير شكل. And we have no other option. We need to get there. Because at the end of the day, as a business owner, he does not have the absolute reach like a consultant بالعالم. And most of the consultants, just like myself, don't have availability. So they just cannot serve them. And there's no possibility of serving them. So price yourself like an airline. Then you need to give your customer a reason to pay you more. And this is something we're gonna get to in this day. It's basically free content, and we're gonna get to it. You ask for accountability. Ask them to make you accountable for some results. Yani, I've participated into a company, whatever the name was. They wanted to hire senior AI engineers. And hiring senior AI engineers for a CTO who is into front-end, back-end database development feels like a maze. لأنه كل حدا بيجي يقول له هود الفانسي ووردز اوف نيورال نتوركس LSTMs مش عارف شو LLMs وهيك. بس إنه كيف هو في يعرف إنه this person is like really good. He certainly has no idea. Just like my situation with front-end development. I have no idea how to assess a front-end developer. إنه you look at his CV, a couple of years of experience, but then what? Like how do you actually know that this person is like really, really good? We have no way. So basically ask them for accountability. مرات asking them for accountability gets with the pricing. Yeah. If you ask them to, okay, so one time in Fab الماضي, I participated in a company where they wanted to hire a team. And they gave me a cut. يعني قالوا لي for each person you hire you get مثلا X dollars. Okay? So for each person you hire and remains there for 3 months and they need to try and intern. So for the 3 months afterwards I get a cut. بعدين I was hired through an agency, a hiring agency. طلع إنه agency ما بتاخد cut. They take percentage of their salary. يعني أنا إذا جبت لهم front end like a junior AI engineer وسينيور AI engineer basically بقبض نفس الشيء. بس الايجنسي بتقبض غير. So this is both accountability and pricing الاثنين مع بعض. Okay? We're done with this slide. But I need to get back to one point. Don't think this is so far to come. This is very near you. حتى لو تحسوا انه I'm a second year engineering student ما بنوصل لهون. Building your portfolio along the way. With getting into jobs, I'm not preaching for getting into your own business delivery. ولا حتى getting into your own business. I'm just preaching to whatever job you get into. Do your job with the mindset of getting there, because this is a niche that you guys and I wasn't familiar with, and it didn't exist حتى, right? So this is like a very new thing. And if it's very new, then we need to make up a mechanism. عشان هلا انتم شو بتعرفوا شو عندكم فاكتورز؟ فيكم تروحوا business consulting with the big 4 or 5. فيكم تروحوا development, front end, back end, cybersecurity, AI, whatever. فيكم تروحوا whatever research. What else? What are the options? What are the perspectives? اعتبروا انتم you are a front end development. At the end of the day, احسن فرونت اند ديفلوبر بلبنان لو شو ما كان ما يقبض اكثر من 5000. اوكي؟ and this is at the moment بتقولوا انه واو احلى شغله شو 5000. بعدين لما تلاقوا انه البروجكت مانجر عم يقبض 10000 لا بطل احلى شغله. اوكي؟ so it's really important to start with this with your career with this possibility in mind. بس يعني you don't have to act upon it, just have it in mind. عشان being in a company, basically being in a place that's very protected, انتو you're not accountable for anything. أكثر شيء بسموكم في الامتحان and it's okay. بس إنه what other accountability do you have? You're very protected. لا خصكم بالبزنس ولا خصكم بالكوارترلي ريبورتس ولا خصكم تجيبوا clients. We are all technical people, so هذا كل الموضوع مع بعض. So it is very protected. شو بيعطيكم من البروتكشن؟ بيعطيكم الكاباسيتي إنه تروحوا to do your own things. تروحوا تظبطوا your own LinkedIn to be available and out there and people to know you. Make sense? Questions? All is clear? Right. That's basically the course schedule. We're not going to do day 2 and 3. Basically, we're going to talk about some frameworks and tools to write in a scalable way to generate leads and build proof and help sales. كلهم بيجوا سوا. Generate leads basically إنه لما you look for an AI consultant, your name should pop in the list of LinkedIn, at least it should be there. Build proof is basically something I used to do a lot of it. I don't have to do it anymore. It's basically whenever you solve a problem, you go like a blog post, so a video about it, to online, كذا. And then whenever a client comes in, I want to build a rack system for a chatbot كذا. You just give them the free material first. عشان he needs to be confident. عشان free material is already out there. يعني مش هيسكن بقى من free material. بس you giving out the free material is basically confidence. عم بقول له أنا go, this is the free material. Go do the implementation of our team تبعه. And then he's gonna just bounce back. عشان the free material is already out there. لو هو بدل free material هيلاقي. So أنتوا يكلمون ساعتها هيجي يقولون لا I want you to build it. So this is a different discussion now, giving the proof. No, I've already done that. I've already been exposed to your business, right? And then help sales is basically نتعلم الانكم. So the idea of the course is to change your mindset, help you figure out your positioning. Positioning basically into بالشركة. Are you a developer who's gonna sit there and be the absolute best Jira master who just finish tasks and close them? Is this what you want to do? That's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But I'm saying that there's a different path. I'm not preaching one over the other. I'm saying that there is another path and it is not very well exposed yet. And this is an opportunity for you. At the end of the day, back in 2013, 10 something, and 10 15, كان في boom كتير كبيرة that concerns app and web development. كان أي حدا بيعرف أندرويد بيشتغل عليه شيء. And this remained there for a couple of years. And now, by the time that you graduate, هيصير هيدا term something that's out there. ليش؟ عشان اليوم everything we hear about AI is something that is kind of large. يعني يا حدا بده to build his own LLM, يا حدا بده to make a new system that humanity have never seen before, and so on. So at the end of the day, once this gets something that gets into a real world deployment, خلاص we are good with this stack, it works well, we're good. ساعتها we need to look into normal applications. See محل ما بعرف he has an ERP system, he wants to integrate AI in it. في a certain business that's like absolutely normal and he wants AI in it. أكيد هيدا ما حيروح يوظف a fully fledged team because that's not his business. بس إنه having an additional feature ما بعرف مثل Amazon market, when you buy it and you get in, you just get whatever you want and you go out. You know, it checks out using RFID or something. They want to do the same thing. They want to do some analysis on stocks, on what to keep in stock, how long to keep in stock, and whatnot. This system for him is he's not gonna hire a team for it. He's just gonna get a consultant, an independent, in other words, freelancer. But I'm not using freelancer because freelancer basically goes into only technicalities. عشان there are lots of room for improvement غير technicality. فيكم تاخدوا النيش لكم which is business AI consulting. شو يعني business AI consulting؟ يعني we go into a company that haven't integrated AI yet and we analyze how worthy AI is for them. يعني نرجع لورا نصير what's at stake. Yeah, see what's at stake? Something that you define. Well, certainly, just like any other business, having accomplished this, they're going to move with the next step with you. And then the next step, until you feel satisfied. Okay? Right. So, if I successfully do this course well, then this time that you're spending now is certainly equal to money. And this sentence is rephrased عشان احنا of course ندفع على عليها يقدروا. So هون بتصير انه if I successfully do that, then the money you pay for is free. That's basically what we want our clients to feel. The same exact feeling. The time they spend, this is something that you should think of. How much time they put in a certain project. If it was exploratory, but we want to see what is possible. If it was actual implementation, a day the Angular team is going to be dedicated from their own business, their initial business, into AI. And then we're back and developer that's really good. We should give you some developers and they're good. But then you that shot. Okay? So that back-end developer is a C# developer tier okay, come in. But what should he learn to get into building a LangChain chatbot? Basically, إذا ما كان شيء بايثون بده يشوف بايثون، بعدين بده يروح يشوف إنه بيعرف المشاكل اللي أنتم هلا بتعلقوا فيها اللي هي LangChain ولا لاما اندكس ولا مش عارف كل الاشياء اللايبريز وكذا وفريموركس. بعدين then he's gonna ask إنه should we build our own LLM or use an API from outside وكذا. Those are like very normal questions, and you guys ask these questions هلا. But later you're not gonna ask these questions. This is gonna be embedded knowledge. The software development company, in the software development, they know the business. They need to invest بهذا الشخص 2-3 months هيقدر يعمل هذا البروجكت. الشباب بال 490 عملوا هذا البروجكت يعني on course project. The same thing. Okay, and it sells really good هلا at the moment. So, getting into the overview, now we want to talk about sales. انتوا هلا يعني مثل ما تفكر 2019 who knows me يعني who am I for someone to pay lots of money for, right? So back in 2019 I just started my PhD in Microsoft. كان في NDA so ما كان فينا نقول ان احنا بمايكروسوفت وقتها during the PhD فكان نقولها later. So I was no one basically, a PhD candidate, that's it, in Italy. كان بعد بلش COVID. So what I did is I went into deep learning of AI, the platform. They are Coursera AI course provider. This company is like an absolute like mega course provider. أحسن حدا بيعمل AI courses بالعالم. وعندنا الفورم كان هذا الفورم إنه you ask questions based on the week that you're studying on the course that you're studying. So أنا كنت وقتها إنه I studied the course, okay, I did really well. في ناس عم تسأل. I started answering questions, answering here, answering there, whatever, being active, asking open-ended questions to boost up the discussions وهيك. And that was something, يعني في ترجعوا للفورم بتلاقيهم. That was something that was really important for the company itself. So they were like, إنه hi, we would like to get to know you كذا وشو, and we did a meeting. قالوا لي طيب, let's do this as a part-time. Continue doing the same thing you do, but as a part-time. And then from there, you are affiliated with what? The most interesting company that does AI courses بالعالم. Right? So that is accreditation. So once I started answering questions with the title, like a deep learning AI mentor or something like that, صار يجي ناس from the side, from my name to my LinkedIn to my chat, I have this idea, I have that idea, and basically you're gonna have 100 codes that are useless, but one of them is gonna pay. How are we going to capitalize on these 100 codes? These days, كل شيء بتعملوه ببلاش. كل شغل حتى الكورس projects are basically content for you to capitalize on somewhere else. يعني فتنا على طول مع client in UAE, and I remember them really well. This company used to procurement company للبناء. So مثلا أنا بدي أعمل بناء، رحت عندهم بقول لهم بدي هالقد طن حديد وهالقد ترابي وهالقد كذا وهالقد ازاز وهالقد كذا. شو بيعملوا هن؟ بيجيبوا حديد، طيب بيبعتوا لكل البروفايدرز الحديد كوتيشن، اعطونا كوتيشن عن هيدا، اعطونا كوتيشن عن هيدا، اعطونا كوتيشن عن هيدا. They gather all of the quotations وبيعوا هذا الريبورت بس. سو بيردوا لهم للشركه اللي بدها تعمل يقولوا هذا الريبورت، هيدا ارخص محل فيكم تجيبوا فيه كل وحده من يور ديماندز. They wanted to automate that. ليش؟ عشان هيك كانوا يبعتوا ايميلز، like انه ايميل انه هاي نحن بنعرفكم بتبيعوا حديد اعطونا كوتيشن على 5 pounds. They wanted to automate this. هلا we went into 1, 2, 3 calls, they paid for them and they had a good idea what to do. But it was فتنا engagement of implementation. I did half of the implementation, صار مشكلة وكذا, they didn't pay. So this is basically an effort that I wasn't paid for. And since this is an effort that I wasn't paid for, I made a blog and a YouTube video that can still see about this use case. يعني انه كثير وقتها in 2019 و 2020 انه في ناس بس عم بتفتش انه to answer the question how can we integrate AI in يا education يا شو عرفتوا؟ So this question was something that was really important for business owners. So I made a blog post. I got like 50,000 views or something on Medium. It was amazing. Jump release I did. Okay? So, being famous is something that's super important for you. عشان in sales, whoever is speaking is basically someone who's privileged. Whoever is speaking in a room is someone who's privileged. And هلا انتم when you go into the society, بتروحوا على رجلكم they don't know tech, so انتم you are teaching a certain idea, right? So عم يسألوكم عن ال AI شو هو هذا الأمر كيف بحكي مع شات GPT كذا prompt engineering مش عارف شو. So you are the person who's speaking, right? So you are telling them what to do. So you are privileged. شو يعني privileged? Because at the end of the day, if one out of these 50,000 people that we're going to speak to basically is going to pursue the idea, you are the first reference. And you are the first person who's going to reach out to that. So being the person who's speaking ما ضروري يكون in live. معقول يكون blog post. يعني أنا والله I watched بيروح مثلا a certain developer كثير صارت بيروح بقول له his business owner إنه I've seen this video for this guy and he talked about this project that we exactly wanted to tackle. دغري business owner بدل ما يروح يعمل hiring وبعد شو دغري reaches out to you. He's gonna be like, yeah, we want this. You send them free material. We want this. Okay, I know the free material. I want you to implement it. You ask all of the question. What's at stake? Why now? What will be celebrating in 1 year from now? So this is basically alluring them into paying more. عشان لما هو يجاوبك what's at stake, أول شيء تعرف what's at stake. ثاني شيء you can capitalize on it. تقول له إذا دفعت لي بس 5,000 يعني إنه your competitor حيشيلك. So pay more, be generous to keep your business. إذا his reason was the business, right? Right. So we imagine that at the end of the day, this Jason guy, حيكون اسمه كثير محلات. He's like the absolute beast of an AI consultant. Look him up. He's called Jason Liu. Liu is L-I-U. So this Jason guy is basically a very, very well-known consultant, and he'd like to hear about like this conversation. And نحن نتخيل إنه the absolute best conversation that could go between you and a business owner is like this. So me and my team have checked your blogs, and we know that you're doing this, you did that, and whatnot. نقدر تعطوه extra material. Okay, perfect. Thank you for the appreciation. That's extra material. So once he gets extra material, يعني ما أنتم مش مايتين على بروجي، يعني أنتم مش مايتين لتاخذوا هذا البروجي at this time at this point. Then so بيقول لك إنه إيه we have seen this material عشان أنتم whatever you do is not rocket science at the end of the day. Whatever you publish publicly is not going to be very specific that you're the only one in the world who have spoken about it. But it's basically you have spoken about it. So this gives you a bit of credibility. So then he's going to tell you, hey, we're interested in Kaza, we want to work with you. You ask him what's at stake and everything else. And then he gives you all of the data you need. And this is the data that basically gets you into the mindset of, Halla, I know how to price. I don't have availability. Halla, I know how to price to give it to someone else. Just like federating this job. Doing the business upfront yourself and then making someone else do the technical job. And this is something we currently have been doing a lot. So again, so your thoughts might be, that's very easy for me to say. I'm already, like my clients are AWS, Google Cloud, and UNDP. And those are like renowned clients by themselves. يعني أنا هلا إذا بدي أشتغل locally هون بلبنان إنه إذا أكون AWS and they can pay, I take the maximum pay they can pay. Okay, so that's very easy. That's no. In 2022, I came back to Lebanon with a PhD in AI. And 2025, I have a mega stable business pipeline as an AI consultant, which is, معقول فاكروا إنه why don't you make your own company, and that's something we're going to talk about. So everyone, regarding of their career position, may feel the sense of an imposter syndrome. وخصوصا انتوا اليوم عشان today you guys are well exposed. You guys can reach out anyone easily. So طلعوا هيك طيب اليوم عملنا الفور 90 عملنا شوي عن ماشين ليرنينج ديب ليرنينج وات ايفر LLMs بس انه كل مره بفتح تويتر بيطلع لي شيء انا ما بعرف شو هو. كل مره بفتح لينكدين في حدا حط بلوج بوست هالقد مع his video and whatever explaining a certain concept that I'm not even like aware of the taxonomy. ما عم بفهم شو عم بيحكي اصلا. I feel it's AI but I don't know what he's talking about. And that's absolutely fine because he hasn't started very well knowledge, right? كانت محل, he didn't know anything and he went to specialize into something and now we know that. But then there is this thing that happens online professional people أصلا they write posts that does not relate to people. يعني هلا إذا رحنا فتنا ب a certain tech like really deep ورحنا جبنا هذا البوست وحطيناه على LinkedIn. Who's your audience? Basically your friends, students اللي كانوا معك بالجامعة اللي ما عم يشتغلوا AI. مين حيعرف شو عم تحكي؟ ولا business owner اللي هو حيعرف okay, ChatGPT explain this for me whatever. So basically you are trying to deliver the message of not delivering the message. أنا الشيء اللي بحكي عنه أنتم ما تفهموه. Okay? And that's absolutely fine. هلا morally ما بعرف فيها discussion هيك بس إنه in the business world that's absolutely fine. Okay? Overwhelming the client with the amount of knowledge that you have. عشان as you position yourself as an AI consultant انت اليوم حيجيك كلاينت بيشتغل بالادتك بكره حيجيك كلاينت بيشتغل ان ما بعرف procurement whatever right so you need to be familiar with all of those and ready to digest whatever kind of problem gets into your way. هلا الحلو بهذا الدومين انه as AI engineers نحن our role is very simple. نحن بس نقول له explain the data for us. طلعت time series في عندنا هالبunch of algorithms. طلعت ما بعرف full text you can use a bit of LLMs and whatnot. It's very easy, very simple. So we don't really have to understand the business really well عشان we're not building full platforms. We are building features. So if we talk microservices, or إذا أخذت الكورس أو شيء, so microservices is basically we have the full Coursera site. تعرفوا Coursera, right? Coursera كله has one functionality اللي هي هاي الشات بوت تحت على اليمين. تكتب عليها بتاع شات بوت. This is a microservice. شات بوت لحاله is microservice. هلا السيرش انجن تاعونا كمان is a different microservice. Okay, so as نحن we will be building microservices عشان نحن ما حنروح نفتح شركة ونعمل from scratch a certain solution عشان it's so much أول شيء subject matter expertise شو هيعرفنا شو المشكلة اللي لازم نحلها بالانشورنس أنا؟ I have no idea. I'm not even exposed to what insurance is, right? So we will be building microservices. So two things that we should learn today. Our sheet, there is a good there's a very well-known formula of how to write good content. The second thing is to keep yourself consistent in order to grow your audience. عشان having 500 connections is different than having 10,000 followers on LinkedIn, right? Having 10,000 followers on LinkedIn is different than having 10,000 followers with a certain like logo on your website, on your LinkedIn. Logo, مثلا X Google or X Microsoft. عشان although being X Google, X Microsoft, X MIT in itself is not an added value, بس ما نحن مين التارجت تبعنا؟ It's business people. So هيدا اللي بيعرفوه. So هلا أنا إذا قلت لهم أنا بشتغل أنا system engineer بشتغل بأوراكل أو بشتغل بسيسكو versus بشتغل بأوبن AI. شو أوبن AI أكيد كذا. بس in reality the added value بتكون بأوراكل. إذا كان بأوراكل, right? نحن اليوم مثلا إذا لقينا حدا بيشتغل بناسا بناسا is he physics ولا is he a software developer؟ عشان لو كان the absolute ultimate software developer ما كان بناسا كان بجوجل or whatever, right? Feel the connection؟ So نحن بلبنان مثلا كثير بيروحوا على BMW إذا سمعت على القصة إنه الأنطونية والبي اس جي وهون بيروحوا بيعملوا ستاج بإن معين وبيروحوا من هونيك على BMW. طيب it's nice أكيد BMW مبين ببص فيها إنه بيقام بلبنان وهيك بس إنه in reality ما تزبط معي بي كثير بتعرفوا Okay, but in reality, BMW is not the pioneer of engineering, of software engineering, but of whatever, mechanical or whatever dynamics. So see, feel the thing we're happening here. Now we're trying to grow our public image. برجع لأول شيء قلته having the assumption إن you are an AI expert. So هلا شو نعمل اليوم؟ شو عندنا بين إيدينا؟ خرجتوا انتوا رحتوا عملتوا internships رحتوا اشتغلتوا بشركة whatever. انتوا you are an employee in the company while you are building your portfolio. يعني كل أسبوع بدكم تطلعوا certain blog posts بدكم to interact with people who are very well off in your domain that can get you somewhere. عشان it is as hard for you to get a job. هلا إذا أنتم بتفكروا بالinternships وكذا والjobs, it's as hard for us to get people who are good. يعني نحن اللي عندنا exposure على البزنس كثير صعب لنا نلاقي حدا who's good أصعب ما أنتم معقول تلاقوا حدا تلاقوا شغل. So it's like an equal struggle. So مثل ما أنتم بدكم تعطوا reason للبزنس اونر اللي يشغلكم بدكم تقدروا تعطوا reason لإلنا بنعرف أنتم you are good AI engineers. So basically it's about positioning. طيب we have done some surveys and أكثر شيء كان مشاكل بالنسبة لل AI consultancy path is getting leads. Leads is different than having a project. بلكي إذا لقيت الليد منيح lead to project إذا عندي 10 leads معقول أعمل 5 projects. بس إذا عندي 0 leads كثير أصعب إني أعمل 10 leads. Leads is basically knowing who has a problem today. Who needs an AI engineer. كيف حتعرفوا هذا الشيء؟ حتروحوا تتعرفوا على everyone who speaks AI بلبنان. تبعتوا LinkedIn whatever. ما بعرف إذا you're exposed. If you know a couple of people, let's tell LinkedIn. أنا حابب أشرب قهوة معهم whatever. Go meet them. خبروهم شو بيشتغلوا. That's one piece of info. Another piece of info gets there when you meet the second guy, and then the third guy, the fourth guy. Eventually شو عندكم exposure على شو عم بيصير بلبنان as of business. So أنتوا عندكم فكرة who is struggling in AI. And then you reach out to the CEO who's gonna post something تبع هاي الشركة that is struggling. He's gonna post something. ساعتها تبعتوا له message إنه على قد his pain point. إنه أنا I've been working on this and that. إنه أنتوا عرفتوا إنه he's working on it. And I thought we might have a call or something. Right? So this is getting leads. There's a book if people who are about leads and you can reach you can get it. Basically to get paying customers, see clear ways. Actually paid ads is something we're not going to get into عشان it's very early in your career. But it doesn't serve every purpose عشان يعني مرات paid ads give you an opposite feeling. إنه this person needs to pay to get the leads, so he's not actually good. Right? The second one is having free content. هي تقريبا أحسن شيء. وبعدين عندكم warm outbounds وcold outbounds. Warm outbounds هن referrals واللي هن once the wheel gets going هي أحسن طريقة يجيبوا بروجيكت. عشان on two aspects. أول شيء you're gonna know who is coming from where. So بتعرفوا قد إيه معهم يدفع. تاني شيء حترجعوا مع accreditation كتير عالية عشان whoever refers you is someone who have tried you already and you did well with them. صح؟ So however much دفع لك هذا أول تاني حيدفعك. Right? So it doesn't make sense to invest in paid ads. So هنحكي أكثر شيء عن free content that needs to be organic, scalable, and it needs to be worth your time. Highly both assume that you know who your customer is and that you already have existing customers. مش هو الكومنت الآن. So we want sometime and your clients speak like this. This person is an expert who has proved that he has delivered. كيف كان البروف مش مهم. أسهل شيء نعمل free content, right? This free content أنا أحكي عنه بس إنه okay. The free content has many distortions. but كثير ركز على الموضوع. عشان in order to position yourself differently of what's out there, it needs to have two rules. أول شيء it needs to be unique. ثاني شيء it needs to have value, an actual value in it. عشان at the end of the day, if you post content in the style إنه I'm very well honored that I got this certificate or I have seen this YouTube video and it's absolutely amazing. Talk about the text developed, ChatGPT halal. And it's easily, not organic. On other terms, you go into a code that goes like this, and during my consulting call, or she into indirectly that they do consulting, I have seen this problem that have been a pain point for some customers, and we have solved it like this. And then you post to your blog post link. And كيف على الأرض we solved this problem? كيف we got into problem to an actual solution, right? And this is surely proof. This is free content that you're gonna share later with a certain client. And building lots of these blog posts is gonna get you into the mindset of being confident. بدكم تعرفوا شو تحكوا مع الكلاينت. وهون حيشوفوكم كثير كولز. هون الكولز حيكون أغلبهم ما لهم عازم. حدا بس بده ياخذ منكم certain info، حدا ما معه مصاري بس بيعمل بروجي بقول لكم تعال كون ماي سي او كذا ما معه شيء مصاري. سو هو كلهم those are free material اللي عم تحكوهم. سو بتاخذوا انتم بيخبرك انه شو مشكلته وكذا، بتاخذوا هالمشكله you rephrase اسم الشركه and then you post it. This is a blog post. حتى اذا انتم ما بتعرفوا what's the solution, you haven't built the solution. بتقولوا انه والله this is a problem that the industry is struggling from and this is how I suggest to solve it. A bit of a collab, a bit of like شوية Kaggle, you host a certain demo Ziri website that people can try easily. This is basically how you build content, how you build credibility. If you don't have credibility already. Make sense? Let's take a pause and take some questions. مستحيل ما حدا عنده question. Yes.
What defines a good AI consultant?
Depending on the goal that you're getting to. What defines a good AI consultant, if you're a technical person who wants to keep doing technical work, is basically being an absolute beast in reaching out to new tech and new frameworks. وبنفس الوقت انك تكون already knowledgeable of the businesses. عشان you don't really know what business are you in. So مثلا my style of AI consultancy with AWS مثلا, I only do consultancy in edtechs, so education companies, education technology companies. So الشيء مثل كورسيرا أو خان أكاديمي أو هول الشركات or في like even smaller ones are edtechs. On شو بينفعني being a professor at the university is gonna pay back for me. And I'm gonna tell them, my students, the rats, are basically struggling for this, and this is how we solve it. Make sense? So it's basically selling from both sides. If you are positioning yourself as a RAG consultant, and Jason اللي قلت لكم عنه هو اخذ position هلا he's a RAG consultant. So he does retrieval augmented generation consultancy. عشان في مليون بروجي عن RAG he wants to price himself on RAG اللي هو شيء gets developed really fast. He wants to price very high on that. So ما اخذ title AI consultant, اخذ RAG consultant. Okay, so he preaches himself as a RAG consultant. وعنده material عن RAG like tons. So this Jason guy has a team who backs him up. عنده content authors, عنده ناس بيعملوا social media for him, and it's basically, it doesn't cost much يعني in reality. It doesn't cost okay. Make sense? Did you answer the question? Other question?
And غير university, how do you build your knowledge? So يكون عندك knowledge more than other people. وين بتتعلم؟
Okay. So this isn't always the thing that's needed. So the question is how to build knowledge. But أكيد, if you want knowledge, it's online. It's either you chat with ChatGPT على ساعتين ليعلمك عن certain topic. It's either you try the code yourself. It's either you go into courses, online courses, and they're like really good. The quality of online courses is getting better and better and better. Books, this is something I preach a lot. So your attention span, بعرف ما كثير صاير طويل. So reading books does not seem something that's appealing for you. But what's the point of reading books? Imagine, who knows Chomsky? Now Chomsky. That's embarrassing. So Chomsky is a 98 years old guy at the moment. He is the most cited academic in history. Okay, أكثر academic بالعالم بالتاريخ, even Einstein Einstein عنده citations. Okay, and he's still alive. He lives in Brazil. The guy is a linguist, so he studies the idea of languages. منه طلع كل شيء له علاقه بالاتنشن. He was the first guy in 2008 who wrote an article called Attention. بس attention كاسم. واللي هو طلع منه ChatGPT. His idea was انه the way that you're trying to tackle language automation is wrong if you don't take the context. تقريبا هيك عم بقول. This Chomsky guy have put all of his thoughts بكل شيء بيعرفه. أكثر حدا عنده citations بالعالم. He's very well accredited. حط كل شيء بيعرفه قعد 3 أشهر كتب كتاب. How much information is in there? شو بدي الانفورميشن his thought process الطريقة اللي هو بيفكر فيها is a gold mine. Whoever reads حتى لو تقروا novels مع انه they're useless. So if you read novels انه you get into a place that you feel with J.K. Rowling. You feel how she semantics, right? تخيلوا انه if you get the feeling of how Chomsky semantics, no way. So when you get the feeling انه that's a gold mine. ما في يوتيوب فيديو فيه يعطيك هالشيء. There's no way إن حدا فيه يعطيك رح thought process مرتبة his own. يعني مثل إذا بتلاقوا اختيار عندكم بضيع على الشارع، بتقولوا له إنه شو رأيك بالزواج يا عم whatever. So whatever he says is a compression of experience and knowledge. That's a gold mine. Even if it's wrong, it's a gold mine. How wrong it is, right? So books are basically it's the endeavor of life of someone given into 3 hours of reading for you. This is something that I can't ما في قد this is important, and this gives you the privilege to speak in front of people. You have ideas, you have thought processes. You're not going to get ideas from blog posts or these shallow learning methods these days. إذا اليوم سألته ChatGPT, tell me what drag is. تمام؟ بخبركم what's drag. Give me a code to try it out. Give me whatever. Explain this. Explain categorization. Whatever. That. كثير حلو. بس how much have you actually ingested of this? إذا أنتوا بس كنتوا تعرفوا راج إنه like what's the type of راج وهيك إنه على السريع إنه it's a good way. So if you want to be the one who speaks in a RAG conference, you read the books. عشان the kind of questions you're going to be asked or the kind of dilemmas that you are here to solve. نحن مش عندنا معلومات بس. We need to solve actual problems. We need to have our own novelty in there. The kind of answers that needs to come out of you, it's not going to be out of one RAG book. It should be an intersection of 3-4 RAG books. You are the absolute expert. اليوم بس تكونوا the ultimate like CNN expert. اقروا 3 كتب of people who fight بيتخانقوا على تويتر. كل حدا كتاب يكون خلص you're good. You have all of the perspectives. اقرا مثلا كاربثي ويامبركون مثلا. اوكي يامبركون هو الشيف متى كذا. كاربثي ما بعرف شو يعمل هلا his own company شيء غريب. بيعلم شيء؟ عم بيعلم education. عم يعمل like tutorials online وعم يعمل هيك شغله. So now هول two like poles in the world of CNN وأكيد in 2014 and 2015. Okay? ليش عم طيب any other questions? طيب so the content is based on some pillars that we need to discuss and need to talk about them openly without being afraid of being not very much political. Our work is to build an audience. So you certainly have to have an audience عشان يضلكم confirmation of your thoughts. ما بدكم تكونوا هيدا اللي بيطلعوا 2 likes على البوست, right? If you are in the phase of building your persona, right? If you build an audience, mutual reaction. You comment for someone, he comments back, you're good. And then you get the reach تبع أكيد generating proof to share material during course. بدل ما أنت يسألكم عن I want to use RAG. أنتم مثلا ممكن mostly business people uses the tech words that are irrelevant. He بيقول لك بدي استعمل RAG بس بيطلع ما بده RAG في reality. He wants to use RAG. So you give him a blog post of your own, but أنت هيك شي محل and you rephrase and you ask things about when to use RAG. ولا هي business problem دايما حيطلع when to use AI, when to use RAG, all of these things. You tell them, look, we can get into this discussion, but I prefer that we read this blog post. It's basically getting out of his thoughts within the discussion عشان it's gonna be annoying. عشان هو حيشوف شو الarguments تبعه. Like everyone else is doing RAG, whatever. I've heard someone told me that I should use RAG. This is and the discussion doesn't get anywhere, and it takes up your free time. تقول له read this blog post for our next meeting. أول شيء علقته for our next meeting. Then you let's discuss your business. أنا أحكي عن your business. شو بدي بهذا التحدي؟ We talk his business. So ربحنا شغلتين. أول شيء عرفنا what's at stake, what's the ROI, what's whatever. Then we hooked him up for another. Okay? Act as case studies and references for future clients. أهم شيء للbusiness owner or whoever is solving a certain problem is to show him somehow that you have already solved this. This exact problem that he's facing is something that you have already solved. عشان they're not paying for a research team. They're paying for the Apple show. It's a freelancer who's gonna get in, who's gonna make the Android app for me, and that's it. هيك بعد بنفكر. And that's okay. But in our world, in the world of AI, things are kind of non-deterministic. They're very non-deterministic. So أنا إذا اليوم بدي أعمل like a Chihuahua versus hot dog classifier, I'm not sure if I can get it to work if I don't have the absolute best data and the use case and deployment. So it's not deterministic. حتى لو أنا like a silly problem like this, I'm not sure if I can pull it off. So they're not used to that. So they want something deterministic. So you need to manage this. This is something that you should consider like as a way of speaking with people. عشان حتى if you get hired in a company, تكون نفسه عليه because whoever is the CTO these days is not the AI developer or the AI engineer. It's gonna be like a front end, back end, some product owner, whatever, right? So by iterating over these steps, you're gonna get into understanding which issues actually resonate with your audience. Like up to a certain blog post about RAGs, and someone came in and was like, no, yeah, but how do we actually integrate this in a structured DB? I'm the structured DB هلا. Should I have to pay for another DB or not? You probably don't have the answer at the moment. You go look it up. You answer. This is absolutely amazing question, and answering your question, حطيت اليوم blog post on it. After getting the question, because this is something that reason would know. So you grab this person's attention 100%, right? So second thing is investing in content that aligns with these insights. شو يعني؟ إذا لقيتوا الناس كتير عم تروح towards RAG، مش بس بدكم تكتبوا blog posts about RAG، بدكم تتعلموا كتير منيح عن RAG. عشان again, assuming that you are absolute beasts of AI engineering, ما نكون تعرفوا كل شيء دايما كل الوقت. So you need to choose what you will be investing your time in, right? And this is a way to know what to invest your time in. Identifying customer pain points and direct your efforts toward those areas. شو يعني؟ إجا عندنا client بشكل عام عم بيقول لنا إنه they cannot hire well. هي it's a problem بلبنان هلا. أنا before like selling my company كان لازم to put a team to replace me and the others, so I went into this. And I struggled to find someone to hire. عشان أول شيء بلبنان في عنا يا over confidence تبع EBLU يا عنا super under confidence تبع باقي الجامعات وما بنلاقي حدا that he says what he knows. يعني هذا اللي بيروح بيعمل like a ذكاء workshop إنه أو boot camp or something, he feels like he broke the world of AI. خلاص he's good. And he starts posting content here and there. يعني بصير مزعج على لينكدين. اوكي شو يعني عم تخبرني عن CNN اليوم in 2024 يعني. It doesn't reason. What reasons انه تريد تقول انه انا I had this problem and I solved it using CNN. مش the definition of CNN and bias various structure. Right? So basically identifying the pain points and directing your efforts, مش بس your writing efforts, your technical efforts toward these areas. So what I used to do, I don't do that anymore, is basically I test out my writing styles, and it needs to be organic because انه اتس better بلكي ابعتوا له شات جي بي تي يظبط انه جرامر وهيك بس انه try to put your own thought process. Then share on Twitter and LinkedIn some short ideas, some hooks of titles and whatnot. And then share questions for people to answer. يعني إن إيده حدا حط comment. Go into his account. بتلاقي هو he's an expert in oil and gas. You ask him a question that reasons with oil and gas with this guy, right? And how do you think this relates to oil and gas? Like, why would this be interesting for you? Whatever. This is basically interaction, insights, and then don't know شو العالم مهتمة and like business value. So, content serves as both proof and practice. It offers practice in sales and positioning while acting as a sensor that indicates that what the market desires. ليش قلنا practice وليش هو كثير مهم انه it's a practice the content؟ At the end of the day, قلنا انه the best way to sell is to be known. So نحن اليوم حنلاقي انه هيدا البلوك بوست مش منيح، الثاني الثالث الرابع مش منيح، خمس جاب كثير interaction. We go and analyze why did it get that much interaction. Whatever the reason was, we capitalize on it. This is an indication. So it's like a research, right? You get into one like leaf and then into the other. Practice كمان gets into the logic of technical knowledge. عشان if I want to tell you about RAG as a series, اليوم حنعمل like a 7-day series of RAG. Build your RAG in 7 days. Everything to know about. انت certainly ما بيطلع معكم content اليوم تحكوا عن RAG 7 days. مش موجود الكونتنت عندنا. ونحن لما نروح نتعلم عن RAG, we need to organize them in a very easily digestible way. We need to link them with businesses عشان إنه RAG itself does not have any added value. هي لحالها ما خاصة ما بتعمل شيء يعني. اللي بيعمل شيء إنه when we put it into a business بنقول له أنت you are a Carrefour and you have lots of data of receipts and you want to understand how will you use these receipts in order to order J and organize your stock. شو بخلي وشو عم بتبيع وشو عم بتزيد وكذا. So this is a business value. مين حيقراها؟ حيقراها technical person who wants to understand the use case in real world. لما راح سمع عن RAG حكي عن factors وكذا optimization APIs وهيك. بس on the other hand شاف like a business application of it. That's a very good added value. هي it's very well related للي عم نحكيه عشان each person حيكون عنده his own experience. شو حتروحوا على شركة؟ كل ما حتروح تشتغل نفس الشيء؟ صدقني لا ولا سكروا الشركة. اللي حيروح على بالعكس حيروح يخبرنا عن الفاينانشال ماركت. اللي حيروح على سيانين حيروح يخبرنا مثلا ما بعرف بسبوي الكلاينت تبعه شو عم يهتموا بس ما بتقولوا سبوي عشان confidential like food chain restaurant. اللي بيروح على الماين بيروح يخبرنا بهذا الروبول اللي بيعملوه او BMW شو بيشتغلوا. اللي بيروح على ريسكو بيشتغلوا in Gulf so فيك تروح to cover a region. So كل الكلاينتس سواء من ال Gulf area so تروح انه in Gulf countries this is the interest, right? So you are attracting leads as well. طيب positioning and marketing. Let's talk about this a bit. This is something I'm not gonna dive into. بس هيدا الشيء انتم ما حتعلموه بالجامعة وأنا تعلمته بالجامعة بس إنه this is something that's needed. This is called the one-page marketing plan by Successwise. It's very well known. It's basically a draft for a marketing plan. Okay. So this draft marketing plan has like 3 levels. خلينا نحكي عن أول level أول شيء my target market. Who am I addressing? فيك عادي كثير إنه تكون أول فترة you're not addressing anyone. You're addressing like some traction بس. إنه ناس who react to your content. بعدين when you have some 1, 2, 3 business use cases, خلاص you have a target market. And then we need to talk about the message that I'm conveying to my market, and then the media I will use to reach my market. A bit of an example here. So some example you can think of, مثلا, إنه my message to my market, my target market, is that I am at the early stages. I am someone who's a technically superior in AI. Hello? So who would be my target market then? يعني, is it developers or CEOs or university professors or like who would be that? Anyone? صعب يعني شو
companies in need of developers?
The companies that are in need of developers. Companies does not have LinkedIn pages as a persona.
The recruiters.
Recruiters. Perfect. So if my target market is recruiters, which platform should I use to LinkedIn? What kind of technical language should I use? Simple one.
Yeah.
عشان they don't really get the technical terms.
I mean like the way that you're writing.
Yeah.
It should be simple. I know they're not like experts like they're just looking for someone.
كيف بعمل أول reach out؟ بروح بكتب HR على LinkedIn وبعمل connect ل 500,000 HR. Right? And then I have an obvious HR. بصير تحط post like how can I use AI to optimize my recruitment process? Whatever. تحكي شيء. Okay, so that's relatable to them. كل حدا اليوم لو بيشتغل wherever بيشتغل بس يقولوا له AI بيشتغلوا بيفتح يقولوا معه. Right? So اليوم ما حدا حكى عن AI in plumbing. ركز فيه بيحكي عن AI in plumbing. عمل blog post about like how can I use AI to optimize the plumbing mechanisms we have. Right? That's a niche. ما في interest عليه بس it's a niche. Right? طيب. Before we get into leads and content generation, we need to think about the fundamental pain that we are helping them alleviate. يعني هذا الشيء applies to general plan و specific plan. General plan إنه أنا كيف my persona is on LinkedIn. Specific plan is how am I using this platform and this content in my usual discussions with the people. Okay? يعني in my general plan is I have a fundamental pain that is chatbots. مثل ما هلا هو الوضع كثير. إنه كل الناس هذا chatbots. Okay? كل حدا I want to use my data. I will write my data. Make me a chatbot for my website and whatnot. Then this chatbot is basically a pain. What problems have you faced during the development of that chatbot? عشان the early development phases كل العالم عملتها. كل العالم جربت تاخد الكورس تبع يودمي ما بعرف like 10 minutes to make your chatbot. Okay? You did this course. What's the problem that you faced just after this course? This is a problem that's gonna stumble 90% of whoever is interested. 90% هيوقفوا هون. So target this pain point. مثلا one of the main points هلا pain points اللي كلكم عندكم اياها as you're interested in AI هي انه طيب I've done this course and that course and I've done some online research وانا بعرف انه في هون ideas about image data وهون ideas about time series data بس انه I don't have them structured in my mind. انه you don't see a plan of AI engineering. شو يعني انه كيف بصير AI engineering؟ Well, that's true. There's no plan of AI engineering. There's no way of making a full curriculum to be the ultimate AI engineer. عشان بعد عم تغير فيه بسرعة. So if you ask me in 2019, I will have drawn a complete different plan as today. صح؟ طيب. For example, if you want to make the most money of selling shawarma, the main thing you should think of شو هو؟ One person would think, I will figure out how to make the meat as cheaply as possible or to optimize the process of the chain and whatnot. في كثير مطاعم كثير طيبين مسكر. But in reality, we need to find hungry people. We need to position ourselves in a way that we can find hungry people. Okay? So again, this might not relate to you a lot, but on the level when you get to be an expert AI engineer, this is gonna reason a lot. عشان طيب I'm an AI engineer. I'm very good, well off with my technical knowledge. How do I sell? شو البلانز تبعي؟ شو عندي steps بلش فيه؟ I need someone to pay for my expertise. The easiest way is to get hired. The harder way is to go make a company. The hardest way is to get to be an AI consultant who works on so many projects. And the nice thing here is when you get to find the hungry people, they're gonna guide you to more hungry people. لما يجوك 10 حاملين عليهم النجمة وهيك بتعرف انك في مشروع النجمة انه I need to go there and to close it to that place. Right? So that's basically okay. So are we good so far? Questions, thoughts, ideas? No way. What is that? Oh. That's a technical concept that ChatGPT is gonna help you alleviate. Ask. we're not technical today. Okay, we'll be telling you. Right.
Assume that طلع عنده مشكلة. كان فين المضطر أن يحل بيها. Can hire someone to solve this problem. Okay. How to measure إذا حليت له المشكلة مثلا like system. How to.
So it's basically while asking the first questions, you ask شو ال pain point بتاعتها وشو will be celebrating in 1 year from today, صح? So that's basically the success metric.
Okay, assume I have someone considered to solve this problem. But you know that
لا you're gonna ghost him. بتقول له عندي هذا project and just do it until you communicate with the client. Don't have and that's very well clear. ما أغلب الشركات شو عم تعمل يعني أنتوا بتروحوا هلا على يعني عم تشتغلوا لشركة هلا أنتوا عم تشتغلوا شو ما شو make sense?
I talked to solve this problem. I talked with the client.
هو ما فيكم نعشق بين وبين.
انا بعرف انا اصلا مش
أنا في العضلات.
Yeah.
مش risky.
It is risky. عشان هيك عم بقول لك it's very hard for us to get someone to do the job well. And once you find someone who knows AI and بيعرف يشتغل بيعرف يعمل research well, just عشان هيك they are the highest paid in the market today. عشان قليل وعشان it needs a bit of a research mindset. It needs a bit of like personally getting involved in whatever we do. Trust them. Other questions?
You mentioned in the beginning why consulting instead of having your own company. You mentioned that you sold your own company to stay in the consulting field. Why is that?
Okay. So that's a long discussion. But I'm going to give you the icing of the cake. Our chief, when I went into the process of making my own company alongside with 2 co-founders, it was the world was painful. You know, كل الناس بتقول لك تصير entrepreneur وكذا وكذا 9 to 5 مش عارف شو. I was in this mindset. I was super excited. كان في مصاري معنا وكذا we're good. So then I figured out throughout the 2 years of making. احنا أول شيء we made the company to sell it. نبلش من هون. There are kinds of companies that you make that they شركة تانية كتير كبيرة ويشتروك وخلاص نسكر. Okay? So it's percentage. إنه حطينا مثلا $500,000 وبعناها 5 مليون. Perfect, we're good. Okay, so that's the goal أساسا يكون valid يعني. That was our goal. But our goal wasn't to get into best 2 years. نحن عشطنا هاي company like 5-6 clients بس. لا أجوا اشتغلوا. Okay? طيب. طلع معي إنه at the end of the day your entrepreneurial process is basically begging employees and begging customers and lying to customers and lying to employees. هيك. Okay, إذا أنا في employee إنه I'm giving him a founder position to يأسس معي شركة that is doing really well from the beginning. ويجي يقول لي إنه السبت the server is down ما بده يشتغله. What should I do يعني؟ إنه أول مرة بجمن ولا بدفع له مصاري ليحلها يا بزعله يا وقتها. كل هودي are invalid reasons morally يعني مش حلوين عشان يعرف يعني عم تأثر بحياة حدا directly. And in his livelihood. In addition to, I didn't intend to sell the company that early, but the offer was astronomical, so we did. Anyway, مع البين سكرنا عشان احنا كان في احنا بلشنا 2022 كان يعني اجواء الثوره بعد شوي واجواء رياض سلامي and co كان بعدها وكذا. It wasn't doing really well يعني. On the atmosphere level بس مش عم بدي So سؤالك another firm اللي هو ليه ما بنعمل AI consulting company؟ اوكي AI consulting company هي شو يعني AI consulting company؟ يعني شركات مثل مثل سيامير بلبنان. سيامير بلبنان بتروحوا لعندهم في نص سيامير لا عنده شي 30 موظف ولا مؤاخذ. اوكي طيب سو سيامير اذا مبلدين سيامير بتروحوا لعندهم اليوم بيحلوا لكم مشاكل اذا عندكم بدكم تعملوا ويب سايت ولا بدكم تعملوا اب ولا بدكم تعملوا فول اي ار بي بلاتفورم بدكم تعملوا وات ايفر بيحلوا لكم كل هول المشاكل. سو بيعمل لك اب اندرويد بيعمل لك اب اي او اس يعني بيزيكلي سولوشن بروفايدر. But that's a software solution provider. An AI consulting company is basically an AI software solution provider, right? Right. في شركة whatever, I got into consulting with them in Lebanon. This is like one of the top 2-3 companies. This company basically didn't hire me لحتى عرفت إنه I'm a person and not an entity. عشان لحتى I get into the company and I get to know all of the details. في 2 titles I can take. Yeah, I'm a company who collaborates with them. Yeah, I'm a persona who is a part-time employee for a short term, right? The AI consultant, listen, شو يعني حتجي على شركة فترة I'm gonna leave soon. So you're an employee. So you are under NDA. وكثير أسهل إنك توظف واحد من إنك تعمل collaboration with a company. This is why إنه أنا اليوم إذا شركة ولو I'm the same person لا AWS ولا Google would have hired me as a consultant. عشان كلهم بدهم their own consultants. ما بدهم إنه عشان هول يجيبوا clients بسهولة. يعني UNDP وجوجل و AWS إنه عندهم their own clients and they serve their existing clients. So عندهم كل كتير كبير. On that basis, I decided that it's better for me not to worry about making my own company. عشان كمان think of ROI. أنا لازم أتأثر بقديه على مصاري أحسن. The dimensions are very different. It's kind of selfish, but it's true. Yeah. Make sense? Other questions?
After trying the entrepreneur phase, you got back to the 9-to-5 job.
لا أنا professor here, so ما بعرف professor 9 to 5 actually. بس إنه as an AI consultant في مرات ما عادش تقول لا لبروجيكت عشان تكون شايل مثلا أول step وثاني step وثالث step. بتبطل 9 to 5 بتصير like 8 to 12 something. So في أيام بتكون full time consultancy كول ورا كول like ما بعرف my students like بيعرفوا إنه you literally have like no time for lunch عشان انت هتشتغل مع كذا كلاينت بالنسبه له كلهم انت بس هتشتغل معهم and it's not about clients it's about انه هاي your clients عادي اوكي اي شركه بتروح لعندها بتقول لها اعطيني ليست your clients بتعطيك right so basically it's not a 9 to 5 it's more than a 9 to 5 just like entrepreneurial is يعني ما حدا يفكر انه entrepreneurial is like really demanding on time level وكمان it's demanding on an emotional level عشان كل واحد يصير يخبرك انه شو عم بيعاني بحياته his career perspective. That's nice بس انه عندنا business to run شو قصدك؟ it's heavy. Other questions? طيب I'm not gonna go on with the presentation عشان that's very generic and business level.
When you were asking this question, did the other company know that you wanted to send? You made the company to send it?
Certainly. عشان the way you run the company, إنه you either go to your own niche. إنه أنت مثلاً, let's say your company is insurtech, right? So the technology of insurance. So you either go and position yourself differently from the market, or بتروح على نفس المارket and you collide with them. صح؟ So نحن مثلاً كان فينا ما نروح insurtech, كان فينا نروح مثلاً